7 a.m.
And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourself in the world. My name's Elaine Powell, and we are here with Dara Connolly and Dawn J. Fraser. Give a And we are streaming live on various platforms in Facebook, in LinkedIn, and today our subject is how to start your speaking journey in 2024 with a big bang. Like, who's excited for 2024?
Do you need your sound effects right there? Yeah.
I'll tell you, since December, I've just envisioning like what 2024 is going to look like for me in my speaking career and just getting so excited about it. And I know that it's just, it's a construct we made up, dates and times, and like you can just start right now. You don't have to wait until January the 1st, but there's something mental about closing off 2023, looking at what what you achieved, what you didn't, what are you going to put, and then like, what am I going to put in place for this year? So I'm really excited to get into this conversation. And as we wait for some other mods to join us, it will be lovely for Dara and Dawn to introduce themselves. Hello, Benny.
Well, I can jump in.
Good.
Great.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dara Connolly. I'm a TEDx speaker and daring speaker coach who helps you be more impactful and influential when speaking in front of an audience, whether that's to one or on a stage to 1,001. And I encourage you to challenge yourself if you have not joined the speaking circuit to push yourself to that goal this year, or if you're already speaking, maybe take it to the next level. Are you ready to get on bigger stages? So I'm Dara Connolly, and I dare you.
Good morning, the daring and one and only Dara. So glad to see you. So glad to see some of you in the chat. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be. Shantae and Monica, great to see you all in the chat. My name is Dawn Fraser. I am also a speech coach based out of the Bay Area, San Jose, California. And for the past 12 years, I've been working with people to amplify their speaking potential and to find the right stages for them, be it on a Moth stage where you can tell a story, be it on a TED stage, or be it on an association or conference. So, I spoke on the stages of TED in 2013. Currently, I serve as the advisor for TEDx Stanford. So I know that some of you have been applying, and we're currently looking at those wonderful applications to get some of these new voices on stage. And that's essentially what I do, is I look for people, I help you to solidify what your idea is or what your story is, and I help you find the right platform. So really thrilled to find that right platform for you in 2024, and cannot wait to be of service for you on our new streaming platform.
Ooh, fabulous. Thank you, Dawn. And then we have Benny. I have to say it so many times because he's awesome.
Hey guys, how are you? Good to be with you guys. I'm coming live from my car, so I have physical therapy, but I'm so glad that I wasn't going to miss this. So I'm so glad to be here. My name is Benny Salas. I'm an executive coach, a speaker coach, and what I do is I work and empower business owners, leaders, and professionals to speak more with confidence, reach their audience, and grow their influence. I'm also the course creator for our Speak More Academy and our newly launched live event happening in March here in Fort Lauderdale called Center Stage, which I'm excited about. It's a 2-day intensive. We have speakers coming through. We got folks coming through, and I'm just excited to be on this stage and really in this platform, because I know there's so many people who have a message, who have a story, and are ready to get their ideas and their vision out there. And I'll tell you, there's been nothing more empowering than owning my story and my spotlight and my stage. And so I'm excited and really looking forward to this room. Thanks, Elaine.
Thank you. Awesome. Speak more, speak more, speak more. And just so we don't get feedback, maybe potentially put ourselves on mute while other people are speaking, so that might help. And good morning from Dublin. Doug is in the house. Doug, we're just doing short introductions and then we're going to jump into our conversation.
Okay, well, great to have everybody here. Thank you so much for all of your time. Just in way of background, so I worked 21 years in the investment world. I was head of sales and marketing of two of the biggest fund managers in the world. I was in the Times, the Independent, for growing businesses from 50 million per annum sales to 1.75 billion. And since then, I had a near-death experience, completely changed my life. And now zooming around the world, doing a lot of speaking on stage. I have a radio show. Also have something called the Leadership and Life Mastery Summit, which is coming up on the 25th of Jan over here in Dublin as well. So we got some great speakers. It's always great to speak with these great speakers. And it's a pleasure to have you all here. So thank you for your time.
Oh, wonderful. A button there. So wonderful to have my amazing speakers. So you can see, look, we have a wealth of experience in the room. They're all professional speakers. That's one thing about the moderators. It's our room. And many of them, as you can see, coach, TEDx, public speaking, leadership training. So you are in good hands. So before we jump into the subject, let me introduce myself. I am the host, Elaine Powell, and I've been speaking, oh my goodness, how long? My whole life. And in the world of public speaking for around 15 years, I started in Toastmasters. How many of us were Toastmasters here? Was very sure, yeah, Toastmasters, and just loved it. It was.
Is she frozen?
I believe you may be frozen, Elaine.
Maybe frozen.
She's gone. Where is she? Come back.
All right, guys, somebody unfreeze her.
At least she froze in a great position. Who freezes like that with that smile? Come on now, that's classic. Of course, Elaine would do it.
But you know that happens. That happens sometimes when you're speaking. Don't you just freeze up and?
Yeah, but usually it's like.
Am I back? Guess what?
There you are.
This happens. This is live, and this is maybe what happens on, when we're speaking on stage. I had to go on my phone, my internet on my phone. So you've got to think really quickly when shit hits the fan, basically, and don't panic because it's going to happen. It doesn't happen when we're speaking. Yes, nod your heads.
Well, what was great about that, Elaine, is as you were frozen like this. So eloquent. It was perfect.
Let me take a screenshot.
Elaine, I just want to check we are actually live on LinkedIn because I've just gone onto the LinkedIn. It says that the event hasn't started yet. I don't know.
The event started. The event has started. If you look under Elaine's direct profile, you'll be able to see the live stream.
Awesome. I wasn't sure as well. So thank you very much, Doug, for, oh, yes, I can see it. Oh, that's so amazing. Let me take a screenshot. Listen, take pictures wherever you can, guys, and use it as marketing. So as I said, I've been a professional speaker 8 years, keynote speaker for 3 years. I speak on the subject of thinking disciplines to enhance performance, productivity, profits, and well-being. And I support people to become TEDx and paid speakers. So that is the crew that's with us today. So on that note, I would really encourage you. It's very different here. Usually we're used to doing audio, LinkedIn audio, where we could see the comments or, we could see people in the room. Live stream, you can't. So I would love in your comment box, we've got Kubi from Dubai. Welcome to you, Kubi. Just let us know, where are you? Whether you're on Facebook or you're on LinkedIn or on YouTube, where are you coming in from? So I know Monica's in the USA. We have Kubi from Dubai. Just let us know where you're coming from. And also any questions, because we're going to be taking questions from you at in 20 minutes at the bottom of the hour, because we're all in different time zones. And we're just going to talk on the subject until then. But definitely get your questions in so that we can answer them for you and get you moving. It's 2024. Is there a song about 2024? Is there a song about starting the new year? Who knows the song?
2024.
Uh-oh,
All right,
there we go.
Hello, we have Texas in the house with Dashana. Welcome to you. So let's get into this.
Deshauna has now landed 2 TEDx talks. So she's been just rocking and rolling, ready to do some more in 2024.
Oh, I love that. Well done. Fabulous. Congratulations, Dashana. And Leslie, welcome to you, Leslie. I know Leslie as well. So the subject of how to start your speaking journey in 2024. I would love to hear from my moderators, because I could ask you, what are you putting in place for 2024? But it potentially you're 5, 10, 15 steps ahead of some other people here in the room who are maybe just starting their career. So what I'd like you to do, I'll give you 2 minutes just to kind of share what advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out? And because we want to cater to all levels of speakers, what are you putting in place for 2024? One thing. All right, who would love to go first? Do I just pick? I think I just pick. Go on, Benny.
I'll jump in. So the question is, if you're just starting out, what could you put in place in 2024 to begin speaking?
Yes, and then you can share, because there's going to be advanced speakers here as well. What are you putting in place as well? Like 2 minute, 3 minute share.
Okay. So I'll start off with, if you're just starting out speaking, I think the first thing that you really want to do is you want to just take some time and go and listen to some other speakers and ask if you can share for like 5 minutes. Like, I think part of it too is a lot of people tend to overthink this, and really this happens through repetition. You get better as a speaker because you're speaking, right? I love the saying that says speakers speak, right? So speakers just don't think. I know a lot of people just sit there and they think about speaking. Well, if you actually just start speaking, you can stop overthinking it. Okay. So I think part of it is getting yourself out there, finding opportunities. Now, in order to do that, get one message and one topic to start off with. Okay. One message, one topic, and start there and see if you even like talking about that stuff. Because I think sometimes people spend so much time saying, this is what I want to talk about. And then when they get in front of people, they realize it's a good idea, but is it really going deep? So that's what I would do if you're starting out. Get around some people who are speaking, find opportunities to speak, get one topic, one message, and begin working that thing. You can master this. You can practice, prepare, perform, do those things that we normally do as speakers. But that's how I would start. Now, for me personally, what I'm doing in 2024 is I'm building my own stage. I said, you know what? Last year was my biggest year ever speaking on as many stages as I did. I'm grateful for it. Great opportunities. It's led me to some great things that are happening in the business now. But I have to create my own stage, and I have to target locally. I live in South Florida. So I just got with my team and I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to target Miami, Broward, West Palm, Boca, Orlando, and Tampa. All of those are within a 3-hour range from me. And so our strategy is to really, really find conferences, local venues, some partners, and begin to do center stage our event, not just in South Florida, but around. And so we're going to be building some traction, and we're going to be going out and talking about these things because people need to hear what we have to say. And so for me, that's what we're doing. We're building our own stages, and we're putting a strategy together to hit on the ground and in the air. So that's my strategy.
Wow, that was like a masterclass. There's a lot going on there. So for those starting out, finding opportunities, find their topic, be around other speakers and their message, and just be out there. I think that's Benny's main message, is just be out there speaking, because speakers speak. Indefinitely. And then they speak more, don't they, Benny? I can see you're driving, so we don't want you to crash. All right. And Dara, how about yourself?
Well, I think Benny hit on a really great point, and the word was strategy. We have to have a strategy. So if you don't have a strategy, it's important to start thinking about one. What I like to do is map out the places, the conferences and organizations that are on my wish list, my dream list of where I want to speak this year. So I have details of who to contact, who I may know. I can start searching my LinkedIn. Who are my connections to this person? And so I can begin a strategy of reaching out to them. The other thing I like to do is really do a lot of networking. So each week I'm in networking events. Some are for entrepreneurs, some are for corporate, and some are just for speakers. If you want to really get into this industry, I suggest you join maybe an association or a mastermind, or keep coming back to our rooms if you're not around speakers, because when you're around speakers, you'll be around people who are doing this. And you may hear somebody say, oh, I know of an event, but I can't attend, or somebody asked me about a topic that isn't my topic. And you are in the world of speakers where we get opportunities so we can share or we can refer you. So it's really good to be out there networking. You can't do this alone. You know, one of the greatest things that I did was join this group to become around more speakers. So what is it that you can do? What groups can you join? What networking events can you attend to, number one, tell people you're a speaker, and number two, offer your services so they know what your topic is. So you have to get out there, you have to let people know who you are and become visible, and then start thinking about what your wish list is of who you want to speak at. And if you need help with this, of course, a lot of us are coaches, reach out so we can help guide you along the way, because there'll be a million questions that come up of what to charge, what do I say? So let's get you going. I dare you.
Thank you, Dara. Some great advice there. Just I think it, for whatever reason, this live stream is connected to me, my profile, but it doesn't seem to be connected to the event that I scheduled on LinkedIn, unfortunately. So look, these are lessons learned for next time. Dawn will help me to link it to the event I scheduled. So we'll put the recording on each of our pages so people can watch it and get this valuable information. Doug, how about yourself? What's the two pieces of advice you'd give?
Well, look, it's all about putting yourself out there, but it's also remembering that when you've got some tools to be able to sell, it's not just about you being paid to speak. It can be very advantageous. So obviously, most of us here have books, like myself, Charge Yourself Up for Success. And that gives you an advantage that if you get opportunities, which I did actually, I'm speaking in India in a couple of months' time, and then I'm speaking in London as well at the Best You conference as well. You know, although I might not be being paid for those, I'm bringing books, I've got courses and everything like that. So it's a great opportunity. I've obviously at the end, and this is one of the things, you can obviously do your own events. So I've got 8 speakers, global speakers, coming along to my event here in Ireland, which is on the 25th of January. And we've got, you know, a guy who's done the North Pole, South Pole, Everest twice. We've got a guy who's basically the #1 leadership and sales speaker in America. He gets basically paid 30 grand plus every time he speaks. He used to train Simon Sinek's team, a guy called Jack Daly. And we've got other people who sold their business for 800 million, a guy who owns 8 magazines, including Together magazine, which sells over 1 million copies a year in terms of printed copies, and loads of great speakers. So it's a great opportunity there where I've got these speakers coming over. I'm obviously speaking as well. And then through that, then I can capitalize on that and then utilize the event to leverage off to get more events on top. And it seems to be working very well because a lot of people are contacting me either for coaching, consulting, corporate training, but also then doing other speeches as well. So that's probably, you know, one of the things I'd say. It is a lot of work doing your own thing, but it is a good way of getting your name out there and people being able to see you.
Wow. Yes, definitely. To do your own event and live in person. There's so many moving parts to that, you know, to have the people show up. I think that's one of the things is people will have all that will, but to put in there why they should, you know, attend, and also what's the impact if you don't attend, because they're going to miss out. Success is those who show up. You know, I think that's one of the things. You have to show up. And as Benny said, you know, earlier on, you've just got to be out there speaking. Dara said network around other people because speakers support other speakers. So are you jumping on the call with other speakers? So how about yourself, Dawn? What would your 2 pieces of advice be?
Yeah, one of the things I think that I took away from 2023 was it was one of those years where I had my own business coach to amplify my business. And one of the things I think definitely applies to public speaking and to building for that portfolio is all about finding the right platform for you to market yourself. Some people are really great at utilizing things like social media. Right now, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, and Facebook, and a couple other sources, but not every platform is going to be for you. When we started off, we were all on Clubhouse, which was also an excellent medium for people to like really be able to interact and connect. But a lot of people have and express themselves in different ways. So I would first encourage people to find what is that platform that you want to connect with people, be it social media, be it just mailing, being networking, like Dara had mentioned. What is that platform for you? I would really solidify that strategy, because the more that you can show up on that platform, and if you know that your people or people that could hire you are hanging around in that space, that's going to be a great strategy. It really worked well for me in 2023, mostly utilizing LinkedIn. And so find that space where your people live and show up there consistently. Don't just make a profile page or just make an event, but set events like our group has been doing, bi-monthly. If you were starting off, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that your cadence is at least 3 times a week, in order to like really kind of like get in those reps to really show the audience what you're talking about and make sure that your content is good. So that's what I would recommend in terms of people who are starting off, looking for your new audience, is to find that platform, start your cadence with a lot of reps. For me personally, I'm going to be doing a little bit of the same. I'm now a senior producer over at Stanford, the Stanford Storytelling Project, working with people on everything from oral stories to TEDx. So part of my goal is just to make sure that I'm able to amplify the voices of students, amplify the voices of those who are connected to the Bay Area, and for my own self, making sure that I'm also showing up on these platforms and putting out great content for people to know how to become a TEDx speaker and how to become a paid public speaker. So that's part of my own mission. It's kind of connected to some of the advice I just gave. And this is how we're kicking out 2024, y'all. So let's do this. It's about to be real. It is real. It's now. It's happening. Let's do this. Let's do it.
And that's the thing, to keep that energy and that momentum going, to keep on generating yourself throughout the year, because we know people start off the year with like, yeah, let's go, and then March it's like, oh no, that didn't work. No. And we have, you have to generate. And I think when you have a vision of what you're heading towards, like your North Star, I think that's something that many people don't have. Like I know for me, one of my North Stars is that I declared I'm going to be a National Speakers Association Hall of Fame speaker. And I'm going to be the first female, Black, British Hall of Fame speaker. Now, I know with the National Speakers Association, that will most probably take me about 6-7 years to achieve that, because you've got to put the work in. You have to pay your dues in order to be, to receive that type of accolade. But it's not just having that's my North Star, but why am I doing it? And I remember when I was at the Influence last year, the National Speakers Association conference called Influence, and then they asked me why, and I was in a room, meeting, and I started to cry. And I said, it's because I want to be the beacon for other Black speakers from the UK to come over to the US to share our perspectives, because we've been brought up differently. It's we think slightly different on different things, and I want to be that beacon. So that, as soon as I started crying, I was like, that's it. That is it. So what is your North Star? What are you heading? What are you declaring in your language that you're then going to work backwards? I start a lot of my year out that way. I declare what I'm going to achieve by December 2024. Like it's a done deal. It's done. You know, ask, seek, and give thanks as if it's happened already. That's the space we want to be in. And then I work backwards. How am I going to actually achieve that? Where do I need to go? And I'll tell you now, a lot of it's going to happen in conversation. It's going to happen with other people, not you be in a silo, sitting at home thinking about it. Join Toastmasters, join National Speakers Association, be around other speakers that incentivize you, and then just start to do it. So that would be my tip. Go on.
Oh, no, I just wanted to also, you just really sparked a thought, because, I think that a lot of people who are on the stream, we're seeing some comments come in. So please keep those comments coming in so we can keep you all engaged. And we will be getting to questions in a bit. But one thing that you just reminded me of is that so many people who are part of this community are experts in something. They are, they're world-class economists. They know stuff about the environment. They know about people with disabilities and special needs. And so I think one of the things that's really important to keep in mind as we go into a new year is that every single industry changes. And there's new trends, there's new things to kind of be aware of that people are going to be looking to these experts for. So in our case, for example, last year was the first time ever that I started speaking about the possibility and the challenges of artificial intelligence. And of course, AI is a brand new topic for everybody, well, mostly everybody, except for those who have been working in AI for the past 15 years. But in terms of being a resource, in terms of sourcing ideas. And so last year I was asked to speak at Google for the first time. Oh no, actually I'd spoken at Google before, but I was asked to speak at Google around the topic of artificial intelligence and storytelling. Keep in mind, this was the first time ever I had been asked to talk about this kind of topic. And so I really needed to understand what the possibility was to tell better stories utilizing AI, and also what the downfalls were. And so I think that what the moral that I'm trying to bring out here is that people will be looking to our experts in various ways to understand what is new in their market, what is new in their industry. And so as you step into 2024, I really encourage people to continue to proclaim that authority. What is new or innovative in their space? Where is it going? And be the vocal point so that people can understand that this is a person I want to hire to talk about this subject, because clearly they know they're on top of the game. We want to hire them to talk about this nuance that's happening within this particular industry. So that was just a spark of lightning that just kind of came to me, thinking about reflecting on some of the topics I've never spoken about on 2023. But it led to gigs with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, with Google, and hopefully more. I see myself doing more AI related and storytelling coaching engagements in 2024 because of that.
Yeah, and see, that's where it starts. You just declared it. And so
I just declared it.
And so shall it be. You know, everyone has their own perspective on life and how we see it. I really do believe that when we declare it and we don't negate it, like, I want this to happen. Oh no, but it's not going to happen because, like, you know, it's like pushing it out the way. When we declare it, God, the universe goes, your wish is my command. And our job is to then just take some actions in line with what we said. So we're going to see Dawn out there sharing a lot more around AI and storytelling. I've been hopefully potentially working with somebody, and he's doing AI and books. And, you know, that's a new space, as you said, what's new and innovative. And we really want him to go out there a lot more, because his name's Zachariah Stratford, and he's incredible at how to have people write books super, super quickly, but not just using AI to write the book totally for you, because then that's not you coming through. But how can we marry the two together? Which is what you're in the space of, Dawn, marrying AI and storytelling, and not just using AI completely. So look, join in the conversation, expand, share your thoughts, any new thoughts, until we get some questions in the chat box, considering we're not live on the event page, we're just live on my LinkedIn page. So yeah, questions or expand. What else would you love to say on this subject? I haven't frozen. Have you frozen?
No, I can jump in if you want. Just to
I
try.
want people to just jump in. Don't wait on me.
Okay. So look, one of the things you obviously need to do in terms of being able to get yourself out there is, contact as many people who are organizing events, see if they have something a slot for you, and add value to them. There's a very good lady who's a digital marketing girl. Her name is Vandita, and she's been helping for free marketing my event. And she said to me the other day, she said, "Look, Doug, is there any chance I could have a 5-minute slot just to talk a little bit about my event?" And she's done so much work for me and added so much value that I said yes. So that's the other thing to do, is if you can find an event you think is an attractive event, go in there, get in touch with them and say to them, "Look, can I add value to you? I've got for myself, I've got like 50,000 social media. So I could say to them, look, I will advertise your event out to 50,000 people and showcase that for free to begin with. So you're giving a little bit to them. And then say to them, look, obviously I speak on stage. I'd be delighted to speak on your stage. Can you help me out, even if for a 10-minute slot or something like that?" And that could be a good way of getting in there with them. And I think when you add value to somebody else, like the way this Vandita lady did to me, then you feel, as an event organizer, you feel like, okay, I want to add value back to this person because they've given to me first. And I think when we give to others, and they feel that, and they feel that you're generally doing it from a heart place rather than just a headspace, it will then help in terms of that. But also, like Elaine was saying, it is all about picking up that phone or getting on Eventbrite, seeing what's going on, and see if you can contact as many event organizers as possible, showcasing what you've got to offer. And if you are a speaker, it's really good to get a show reel together, showing maybe you on stage a few times and talking a little bit about what you do. And then you can send that show reel out as a video to people so they can see, okay, oh, right, I can see they've been on stage. I've seen they've got some good added value. Let's have that. And also use your testimonies, like on LinkedIn, which we are on now. It gives a great opportunity to be able to utilize your testimonies and be able to take those, showcase them to potential event organizers, and then maybe they might take you on as well. So it's all about action, action, action. It's all about making those calls. And remember as well, there's hundreds of people out there that want to speak on stages. So instead of just sending emails, try and pick up the phone and actually connect with a person on a heart-to-heart basis.
Oh, that is such great advice. I would love us to expand a little bit on more on that. I feel that many people are very scared to just jump on the phone. They're like, what am I going to say? What if, I think it's that unknown that stops people from doing something like that. Because as you said, there's lots of events and they all want speakers. In the US, I've researched it, there's 100,000 speaking opportunities in the US. I don't know if that's all paid, but that's conferences, meetings, away days, retreats, internal meetings. There's so many associations, non-profits, colleges, universities. So there are so many opportunities out there, but many people aren't taking that step because of fear of jumping on the call or not knowing how to approach an event. So I'd love us to kind of riff for a little while as we're waiting for comments or questions to come in.
Yeah, I'd love to jump in on that as well, but I don't know if Dara or Don want to jump in before me. Okay. So I mean, I like what Doug said. Doug is spot on with that, and I think, like, especially for those that are getting themselves out there, I'll tell you, the biggest thing for me has been networking. It's been getting in spaces and connecting with people and, getting on the calls. Like, I actually enjoy getting on a call. I really do. I enjoy it because it gives me the opportunity. One of my biggest mistakes, I'll get vulnerable. I'm not going to act like I have it all together. Okay. So one of my biggest mistakes sometimes is I just got to tell people on that first call, here's what I charge. I think sometimes dragging that on can be a downfall of us. And I think what ends up happening for us, let me just safeguard us as speakers. And if we're coaches, consultants, whatever we do, we can get so excited about an opportunity that we forget to do good business. Right. And so I would say part of your connection is that, remember, you are connecting with people. You are looking for speaking opportunities. You are networking. You are building relationships. You are building a brand. It's a lot. It's a lot to keep all these things moving as you're trying to build social proof, right? So for somebody who maybe just starting out, here's what I did. And I did this before I started to understand about building the brand as a speaker, was I just went and spoke for free. I didn't really care if I was getting paid. What I cared more was about the footage and the testimonies. What I cared more about was the pictures, because a picture will say 1,000 words, right? And if I have that picture, it says a lot. If I have that video content, it says a lot. And so I just focused on building that. And then it was easier to say, here's my number. It was easier to say, hey, you know what? I'll come speak for you. I'll do some consulting. Hey, you want me to do this? Hey, you're looking for some of this? Okay. And it allowed me, like, again, this is what's happened with one company right now, where we literally have been working with one company for over 1.5 years, and it all happened through an event that I actually paid to sponsor. I paid $2,000 to sponsor this event. This was the only guy that came to my table. I have done multiple 6 figures just off this one client. And now they have me written into their organizational structure as the consultant to do leadership, coaching. And when they do their leadership retreat, I'm the guy they bring in. It's in our agreement. And so it all happened literally. So I didn't get paid to speak there. But I think there's two frame of thoughts. Either you get paid to speak, or you speak to people who are willing to pay. And I think you have to understand both of those two platforms and how they work, and you can maximize the living daylights out of that. Okay. If you got, like, again, if you have a book, if you have a product, you have a program, you have a service, you can crush it. Maybe I'm just more of the mindset where I'm just like, every opportunity I'm maximizing, I'm capitalizing on, and you're networking and building relationships along the way. So that's what kind of sparked for me. So those are my thoughts.
For sure. I think it's like Oda Mae Brown. Do you know what Oda Mae Brown said? Nobody's got time for that. Ain't got no time. Nobody's got time for that. I haven't got time to be sitting on the side. Life is now, and it's now, and it's now, and it's now. So I love the showing up. You showed up. That's what happened. You listen to your intuition. And I think not enough people listen to their intuition that says, go for it, do that. And then we go, no. It reminds me of that story. Many of us have heard the story of the man, and he's in a flood, and he's in his house, and he's waiting for someone to come and save him. So, a boat comes, he says, no, I'm waiting for God. A helicopter comes, and he goes, no, I'm waiting for God to save me. And then he drowns, and then he's up in heaven. And then he said, God, I was waiting for you. And he said, well, what were you doing? I sent a boat. I sent a helicopter, So listen to your intuition. Life is giving you the prompts for you to move forward. Are you listening to them, or are you having this whole argument with yourself and actually sabotaging you? So I love that you showed up, and that's the results of it. So fabulous. Anyone would like to? Carry on.
I can add to that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's important as speakers, we have to get the word no out of our vocabulary, unless it's really an event that is not a fit for you. I mean, in the beginning, you want to make yes your best friend. Say yes to opportunities. Say yes to the podcast if they have a great big following and it's the right fit for your audience. Say yes to your friend who's putting on a summit if, again, it's the right fit for your audience. Say yes, because you have to get yourself out there to practice your presentation, to get your name out there. And then when you get a little bit more established, you can be a little bit more selective of the opportunities. Like at this point, I don't pay to play. I don't pay to speak at other people's events. Sometimes those opportunities come up, and I don't need to pay because I want them to pay me. So in the beginning, though, you may want to stretch that. So you are going to get comfortable saying yes, even if it's outside your comfort zone. Even if you think, I'm not ready yet, I'm not there yet. Push yourself, whether it's TEDx, whether it's a paid stage, whether it's speaking at a conference that's a little bit outside your reach. Take yourself to that limit, because that's how you're going to get to that next level. When you get in front of an audience, there's nothing like that opportunity for you to reach that many people. But you have to be prepared, and you have to have practice, and you have to have the strategy of what you're going to say when you get there. But if you're staying small, thinking small, you're not going to go anywhere, right? So as entrepreneurs, we take a risk. We know the word entrepreneur means risk taker. Yes?
Yes. You dare them to take a risk, because many people won't take a risk, and then they wonder why they're not progressing forward because they're too much in trying to work it all out. What about this? And what if I do that and that? Well, why are you predicting that future? Take a risk.
I feel like so many of, we worry so much of it's not perfect yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not polished yet. How are you going to get to that point unless you take that opportunity to walk out there and try it? My first presentation was not a hit. I did not connect. I'm sure many of us on this stage would say that. It takes a little while to develop it, but you're just postponing it if you're not taking that first step to get out there. So we'd love to encourage you. I see somebody, I think it was Deshauna, put in the chat about you'd love to learn more about National Speakers Association. Great place to start. You can go to nationalspeakersassociation.com, find a local chapter, get involved with these organizations because they will help you. They have a plethora of knowledge. You're getting around speakers. You can go to your local chapters. A lot of us are members. Great opportunities. There's people out here who are steps ahead of where you're at, and they will help make the journey easier if you get connected with them. Because trying to walk into a speaking industry with no contacts and never having been on a stage can be daunting, but we want to get around the people who are doing it. And that's why, again, I say networking is your friend. I dare you.
It is. I love it.
Just for just a moment. Because, I think that networking is key, but I think that it's also a matter of really like intently listening to what actually people want to hear about, right? Because we can have like great contacts, great connections, but we have to also understand that this is a business. And when it comes to business, we want to find those niches where people are actually hiring you to, like, content that people want to hire you on a consistent basis. So, I remember when I was first starting off in the college market, colleges were just really like the sweet spot. I wanted to be able to talk about diversity and equity and inclusion, but at the time that was not a topic that was being highly paid or sought after. At the time, it was more so like talking about like leadership development. It was more so talking about motivation because a lot of the students were just like unmotivated. It was a lot of issues that were happening specifically on campuses. I needed to understand what that market was. So when you network, also find out what exactly is the need. What is the problem that you can help solve that you can actually talk about? Because you don't want to spend your time creating a plan if it's not actually going to be sought after as you're building out your career. So just keep that in mind, that network intentionally with a good listening ear to what problem can I help to solve for this particular institution or individual.
There we go. I was waiting for it because I was going to jump in and say it's the problem. What problem are you solving? If you don't know the problem you're solving, it's really going to get hard to get paid and even get speaking engagements. So what is, obviously you have to think about, what industry, and you don't even always have to have industries, because I go across many industries because I'm around, mindset and thinking. So that's needed everywhere. But I do focus on, at the moment, associations with credit unions. But what is the problem? That's why they're hiring you, because you're a solution to that problem. So I really suggest you just spend time and write in a sentence, what is the problem, the one major problem that you solve for your clients?
Just to add that though, Elaine, as well. I mean, obviously, some of us have written international best-selling books, or,
look at you.
Being in the newspapers in terms of success in large multinational corporates or whatever it is. So sometimes there's people out there that might, having been a C-level exec, for example, in some of the biggest fund managers in the world, some people might be middle management, or they might be starting off in a multinational, and they might want to know, how do I get from where I am today to where that person who's speaking is as well? So it's also to recognize what you've done in the past that can add value to people in terms of how did you get there as well. So it's not necessarily just about a problem, it's also about a path. What is the difference between them to where you've been or you are, and what was the path that you took to get there? So that they can maybe utilize that path and maybe, cut a few corners to be able to get there quicker, faster, and easier as well.
Oh, got it. Thank you. So unless anyone wants to kind of add on to that, I'd also like us to, because I feel for me, starting this year is being more visible. I know that I'm not as visible as I need to be. I've been following a really great speaker. His name's Ramon Ray. He's part of the National Speakers Association, and he was the host, the MC at the big conference last year. Great energy. And, you know, Ramon has a show, and I'm sure it's every day. He showed up 30 minutes on LinkedIn every day doing his show. And he just recently told us this week that he has been picked up to do a weekly, I think it's weekly live stream on USA Today. Look at that. It's showing up and it's being consistent. I think someone said that at the beginning of the room. It was either Dara or Benny about being consistent.
That was me. That was me.
It sounds like something smart that I would say, but it was definitely Dawn.
Exactly. Yeah, claim it, Dawn, claim it. But it's consistency. And I know that I haven't been my word, because that's one of the topics I speak about, my word in consistently showing up. So I'm declaring it now. I've started to do videos, because if we're ever a speaker, it makes sense to have videos on LinkedIn so that event organizers can see how are we in front of the camera? How do we engage? How's our cadence, our personality? What's the content like? So I really encourage whoever's listening to show up a lot more on LinkedIn with your articles, but show up on video, because this is where HR departments, event organizers, talent and management, the communication departments, these are all the types of roles who will be looking for speakers for their events. And I have had a few speakers, event organizers reach out to me, but definitely want a lot more. So show up on LinkedIn. Anything anyone wants to expand on there? Or not?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the play, right? I think that's always the play, is like we kind of all know where our potential is. We kind of all know a little bit of what we can do. I think it's just a matter of executing and pulling the trigger. I think it's about like really, doing the hard stuff that isn't always fun, but is necessary. Right. And keeping that rhythm flow. Like, again, I'm looking here, and I'm gonna do something here. Excuse my camera. I'm gonna show you my studio setup. And we set up our studio here. Finally, it's finally all set up. Our cameras, our mics here, our other mics here. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna record series for our academy, and I'm gonna build our YouTube channel. And so I just finished uploading my 3 videos. Video series on Vimeo just last night. And I said, you know what? Enough talking about what I need to do, right? Like enough talk. Let me speak. Let me be what I'm great at. Enough talk, Benny, right? Like, and I think that's if we're having this kind of like come to Jesus moment, like you know what I mean? Like if you don't talk, you won't speak. How about that? If you're not talking to people and you're not you won't speak. People won't. People want that connection. They want to feel the social proof. They want to feel like they can go to Instagram and just see when was the last time you spoke. What are you actually doing out in the world? You know what I mean? And I feel like this year, it's going to be more of an aggressive year, but a more strategic aggressive year. I think last year I was aggressive. But I'll be honest with you, I wasted some time chasing some avenues that just kind of were not what I thought they would be. And I realized, you know what, we're going to get more strategic now this year. So I would just challenge everybody, rather you've been doing this, I've been speaking for 27 years. This thing never gets old. This mic here never gets old for me, right? That stage never gets old for me. And I think when you start to love it and embrace it and understand that this is what you're called to do, you'll look at this thing very differently. This thing is bigger than a message. This is a mission, right? This is something that we believe in. We've said no to other opportunities just to say yes to this. And so, I just think like if this, you want it, like build it and just do it. Forget about the likes. They're watching you even though they ain't liking your stuff, right? Forget about, what I mean? Like just do it, put it out there and enjoy the process. That's what I'm trying to remind myself daily, right? In this work, because we're all great at what we do and nobody can do what you do the way that you do it. So just put it out there anyways, right? So I think like Elaine, like what you're saying, more videos, right? More Elaine, right? More Doug, more Dara, more Dawn, more of everybody in this room, more of that, right? And let's build this thing so that we can have great impact. So the next time we come into this room, we're turning these into like, reports of like, this is how I got booked. This is what happened. Like that's what I hope for myself and for everybody else in this room. So more videos, Elaine. How about that?
I think so. More. I feel like it's Oliver Twist. Can I have some more? More? Yes, more. I love it. Definitely. Show up. So yeah, let's see if there's any questions. I'm on various platforms, obviously not LinkedIn, the event itself. We're on my LinkedIn profile. But yeah, any questions, Monica, because I know Monica is still there. Dashana, I'll answer Dashana's question. Oh yeah, I can show the question. I love that. So there we go. Dashana says, I'd like to know more about the National Speakers Association. So I feel that there's two kind of great organizations out there. There's Toastmasters, and I feel Toastmasters is more about learning to speak, building up your confidence, having someone who'll mentor you to kind of just build up your confidence and speaking skills, the basics of speaking. And then the National Speakers Association, the way I see it, it's more about the business of speaking. So they'll have conferences and workshops around AI and CRMs and reach out and all the moving parts with regards to being a speaker. And I would just, in my opinion, I'd say the majority of speakers, I'm guessing 75% use speaking as a way to, to highlight their business. It's kind of in partnership. Maybe, I don't know, 25% of speakers, I make up these numbers, do just speaking full time and that's it. Anyone want to challenge? I don't. I think it's definitely a small percentage of people who just speak and that's it. I only know about 4 speakers. That's all they do. The rest, they have workshops afterwards. They have consulting, books they sell, masterminds. Like there's always, and how does the transformation continue after somebody's left the stage? So that's in answer to that question. Anybody want to add to that in our last 6 minutes?
I'll just oh, go ahead, Doug.
No, I was just saying we don't have the National Speakers Association over here in Ireland, but we do have the Professional Speakers Association, which I think is very similar, PSA. And it's a great opportunity to be able to network with other people who speak on stage. And you never know, quite often what might happen is you may end up having, a friend of yours is speaking on a stage. He gets asked, is there anybody else who's a decent speaker? And then next minute, your name's put in the hat as well. So it's a really good networking opportunity to be part of the National Speakers Association, Professional Speakers Association, or any of these types of associations, to be able to meet and greet with other people who do similar things to you, and they keep you abreast of what's going on in the industry. And that way that you can look and see if there's anything that you can add value to as well.
Okay.
I was going to say, go ahead with Dashana's comment. Go ahead.
And Deshawn says, I'm more interested in the business. I feel I have the mechanics of speaking down pretty well. You declare it, girl. What? Know your worth. I will definitely be looking into my local chapter of NSA. Fabulous. Just let us know in the chat box what state you live in. And I can definitely find, someone to speak to you who can walk you through how to join that chapter, Deshana. But we have 2 conferences this year. Thrive, which is more workshop business. That's in March. And then Influence is like the massive stage where like the 50K speakers, they show us how they do their magic. And then we can see the gap. We're like, oh shit. So yeah, just let us know and I'll connect you with some. Texas. Oh, where in Texas? It's a big state. There'll be an Austin chapter. Houston. All right. I'll private message you and connect you to somebody in Houston. So in our last, thank you so much. Let me, I have been sharing a banner. I just haven't been speaking about it. If you want to keep in touch with our fabulous speakers here, then there's a free resource for you at www.mindspeak.uk/resources_LinkedIn, where you have the profile of each of our moderators. There's 10 of us in total, our social media, so you can keep in touch with us there, as well as free resources, whether it's a checklist, a link to a master class on the subject, but it's all around speaking. So who wouldn't want that amazing resource? And later on in the year, we will be doing our first summit, where we will,
Whoop, whoop. We're so excited.
Where each one of us will be mostly doing an hour's slot on our subject matter to have you really elevate your speaking and know that this is a journey. It's not just something you stop. It's a business. So if you treat it like a hobby, it will be a hobby. Treat it like a business, and you and others will reap the rewards. So in our last 3 minutes,
Elaine?
go on.
Yeah, but before we close out completely, I did, in the same vein of Toastmasters and NSA, I did definitely also want to give a shout out to the Moth, because I think that it is a fabulous, incredible resource that is all over the United States and as well as many countries internationally, where people can just get on stage by just sharing a story. And you might not think that that just telling a story is going to lead to your business, but actually what's happened is for so many people, they've told a great story and they're seen by an agent, or they're seen by a literary person, or they're seen by other storytellers. And what happens, there's events in at least 55 cities nationwide, and the podcast is downloaded millions of times each year. So if you have a solid story and you're near some type of metropolitan area, definitely check out themoth.org to find an event near you, because it just continues to allow you to get those reps in front of quite a large audience that is very well established and can connect you to other individuals as well. So
Don, can you put that in the chat, like how you spell it, or no, just for people?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I will put that right now. It's themoth.org, and just look for events in. Oops. That's interesting.
Okay.
It looks like it's failed to post, but
yeah, I'm going to jump in. Because we literally have one and a half minutes left. So on that note, I would like 30 seconds from each of my mods, because we want to be on time. What's your last words to the audience with regards to their speaker journey in 2024? What's your soundbite? Doug, let's go, Doug.
Okay, well, I just say, obviously, 25th of January, the Leadership and Life Mastery Summit is on. It's live, online, and in Dublin. And I'll be speaking there with 7 other amazing speakers. Love to see you there. It'll be a great start to your year. We'll be talking about sales. We'll be talking about leadership, life mastery, and get there or be square.
Like a square. Fabulous. Thank you, Doug. Benny.
If you can't make it to Dublin, make it to Fort Lauderdale, March 8th and 9th at the center stage. And so I would say speak more in 2024. Get yourself out there. get connected, get a coach, get training behind you. Like make this your best year yet.
Definitely best year ever. Dawn.
Well, if you can't make it to Dublin or to Fort Lauderdale, no, but like if you are looking to get on any stage, like, TEDx is really my hub, really the place where I know a lot of information. So if you're looking to get on any TEDx stage nationwide, then I'm your person. Be in touch, and I'd love to support you.
Thank you, Dawn. Dara.
Well, make this the year that you take action. You obviously want to be a speaker. You've taken the time to listen to us. You come into these rooms. What are you going to do to take action? What I suggest is you get a consultant. You can work with any one of us or find someone who resonates with you. I'm very good at getting you on those stages and really honing your message. I only work with 2 clients a month. So if this is speaking to you, reach out. I'd love to do a free call with you, but make it the year you take action. It is time. I dare you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Doug, Benny, Dawn, and Dara. And for myself, I'll say someone's waiting for you to get out of your way. And whatever level of speaker you are, there's definitely another level we can go to. And when we keep focused on who is that person that I'm going to make a difference to, then our own concerns about ourselves, our fears, about rejection just disappear, because that doesn't matter. You have something very, very special to share. It's a gift that's come through you. Do not hold on to that gift, and share your voice with other people. So as we finish this room, I want to say thank you so much to my fabulous moderators. We are back again. We do this every 2nd and 4th Friday of the month. Our next room will be on Friday the 26th at 10 a.m. Eastern. Hopefully this time we will be live on the LinkedIn event page that we had created, but that's life. You live and learn. Thank you to those who've been watching on Facebook and YouTube, and those who have interacted today on LinkedIn. Thank you, Monica. Lovely to see you. Thank you for contributing, as well as Dashana as well. So, and Leslie and Kubi. So wishing you a fabulous start to the year. Remember, network, show up, be on the platform, be consistent. Go to Doug and Benny's events. I help people become TEDx and paid speakers in the coaching side. So call out to me, or if you want a keynote speaker on thinking disciplines that enhance performance and productivity and well-being, you can call the Brit in, and I will be there as I'm based in Atlanta. All right, on that note, let's all come off mute and say goodbye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Adios.
Hey, guys.
Okay.
Adios, amigos.
All right. See you next time.